Hey! What's up? How are y'all? Meme sucks are fun, but I don't want a meme right now. Hell yeah, let's do Unique name, hello, hello! How are you doing tonight? Today is October 14th, which means that we are approximately, assuming it lands at midnight, 4 hours away from Guilty Gear 1.10. I was planning to actually just practice Giovanna tonight, but it turns out they landed the patch notes 24 hours before the launch. So let's go over it. Let me see, what do we have here? Game modes, tournament mode. ESL has some tournament coming up, I'm guessing. Hardcode server, network mode, training mode. When counter setting, either automatic stack versus automatic broadcast are set simultaneously, the counter setting will be prioritized. Interesting. Training mode, I have not been taking full advantage of that. Now version update from 1.04 to 1.05. Yeah. Oh, he's a little loud. I can fix that. Thank you for letting me know. Just fixed your Ethernet issue. That's a good thing. I'm expecting us to have a few matches tomorrow. I think I figured out how I wanted to execute my Giovanna routes. Although obviously that's going to change. I'm going to have to spend a lot of time tomorrow just going over the damn Windows update. That figures. Yeah, but I've been having a lot of Windows updates lately. No, just updates in general. Discord always wants me to update. Windows wants to update. All my programs want to update, including voice mod. Anyhow, network features. Yes. Lintoaster, thank you very much for letting me know that. Yeah, character balances and bug fixes. Here we are. Fix some errors in the patch notes. Okay. Balance intentions. Overall changes. We have revised the overall functions of projectile special moves, aerial attacks, and anti-air. Some projectile special moves now have less recovery, making them easier to use in neutral. And by recovery, that just means that you're stuck for fewer frames in recovery mode. So once you toss out a projectile, you can actually do something before they just force you to whiff and counter. Which means, unfortunately, this is a huge buff. I wouldn't say huge buff. No. Saying it's a huge buff is overselling it. But it's definitely going to be a buff for anybody with a long-range game plan. Reduce the benefit gained from landing aerial attacks. Main characters can now deal more damage than before on counter hit. By increasing the number of moves that can cancel into air dashes, it's now easier to launch an offensive after an opponent blocks your aerial attack. Between the two of these notes, just these two, I'm going to say that Milia is going to be significantly better. Given that her entire purpose in life is air game. Of course, anti-air attacks have also been buffed, increasing the war gain from a counter hit forward, what was it, a 6p, making it easier to include special moves. Okay, so it's easier to combo 6p into a special move now. Also, our intent to remove the disparity between characters when it came to their options after a forward punch. That was a critical piece of my Giovanna game plan, especially on the defense. If they are rushing me down instead, to find the timing to land a 6p and then combo that through. I was actually really rigorously practicing my 623 punch, 623 slashes to do the basically the flywheel DP. I'm guessing that this makes it slightly easier to do so, but it makes me wonder if 6p will now link into regular attacks easier too for longer extended chains. We have revised the start of the fastest normal moves. Characters whose fastest move have more stops than others now have faster starts on their punch attacks. Although it varies, it generally makes it so that characters can counter throws or wake ups as a general rule. Okay, so my tick throw game is going to suffer a little bit off of this because it's supposed to be easier to clash on throws. Input buffer. Time window for input buffer becomes easier to attack on the earliest possible frame. Okay, so more lenient buffer. Who was it on Nichi Sanji that was complaining about how difficult it was to play GTSD because of the lack of a buffer? I forgot. I think it was Generation 2 girl. Was it Rosemi? Yes, it was Rosemi. Yes. I would be interested to see if that solves some of the input issues that she was frustrated with when she was trying out Guilty Gear Strive. We think of overhits in the game as falling to 2 categories. Overhits are difficult to read, and dust attacks, and overhits are easily reacted to unless taken by surprise. For example, fully charged dust attacks. And also Giovanna's flip kick. We have revised the starter frames for moves that fall in either of these categories, which are various levels to react to depending on the player environment. I have no idea what that means. This just means that they have done tweaks to overhead attacks outside of the obvious dust attacks. This is the important bit. We have extended the time window for throw clashes, which previously only worked when input at almost the exact same time as the opponent's throw. As there were times when a clash would not occur even when the player successfully predicted the opponent's throw, this change makes it easier to counter opponent's throws with your own. This does not, by the way, affect your game against Potemkin. Characters with command grabs are exceptions to throw clashes, of course. So you still get wrecked by Potemkin grabbing you 3 times in a row and crushing your spine and pulverizing it into bony dust. It is now possible to cancel roaming. No, sorry. It is now possible to roam and cancel at any point during the animation of throws, excluding overdrives. It is possible to roam and cancel after an unsuccessful throw to cover up for the quick recovery. So now, if I want to go for a throw and I whiff it because I'm either throwing too soon or too often, I can still pink roll cancel and roam and cancel and get out of there. This change makes it possible to expend meter to roam and cancel after a successful throw as well. Oh my god. Dracon, when you land Nagaryuki's blood-sucking universe, you can now red roam and cancel. I don't want to face that Nagaryuki now, to be honest. Oh, that's gross. It also means that, oh, that's a Giovanna buff as well, given that her throw game is actually really good. Because of how fast she dashes into people, it's very easy to get like a quick dash into a throw, right? So now I can dash, throw. Yeah, this is the type to start mastering RCs. I think especially with this change, it becomes very, very important now. Nago Ryuki is basically on God mode once he manages to get a Bloodsucking Universe onto somebody. So if you can roam and cancel into bloodsucking, or if you manage to get Bloodsucking Universe and then RC, shit, man, that's nasty. That's nasty. But I believe I'm also benefiting from this on Giovanna, given how easy it is to get a throw on people with her. Let me see. If I'm imagining this right. Yeah, there is a ground bounce off of Giovanna's 4th throw that I can then combo into either jump dust, air dash, jump dust, air dash, dust into a grounded 214 kick. No, I don't do 214 kick. Off the second dust. I have to think about it. There's a lot you can do with this. There is absolutely a lot you can do with the changes to roam and cancel and throws. I got to do a lot of experimenting. Jeez, especially with the changes to air routes too. Base damage scaling is special moves. Although this varies between characters, we have increased base damage scaling on strong offensive special moves and combo starter moves. They have increased damage on strong offensive special moves. This game was already so damn quick. This must be a response to like your new defensive options. Okay, previously, faultless defense had somewhat longer block stun than the standard blocking. However, as it was not rewarding enough to overall to spend tension gauge on, the block stun has been changed to match standard blocking. So, this does affect your Potemkin game. Because Garuda is, faultless defense on Garuda is actually fully rewarding now. It means it's less disgusting for him to lock you in on a hit stun. For certain moves that don't cost significant knockback on block, false defense won't open up much distance between the player and opponent previously. There is now a minimum amount of distance that will be created when using faultless defense. Combined with the changes made to guard crush moves, there is now greater merit to using faultless defense against any move. Okay, so they are absolutely forcing us to learn how to use proper resource management, because faultless defensing is almost is going to make a big difference in how you set yourself up for counter offense, right? I can't see fully the consequences of this change yet, but against the opponents that we know really like to stick to your face, like I'm not all too eager to being a Giovanna main and gain faultless defense now, because now I know that the minimum knockback on FD means that it's harder for me to stay and to keep my turn up, and which is like Giovanna's whole priority. So interesting, very interesting. Combined with the reduced block stun, it means it's probably easier to regain your turn after Giovanna does a string on you. Okay. Ooh, Duel of the Fates. I love this cover. Let's see. Air throw, successful throw, no longer increases the wall break value. This is important because it has become clear to the developers as well that we don't actually want to break the wall in about 2/3 of the cases that we face. Simply because allowing them to regain neutral is too much of a reward for somebody that was already losing compared to the tension gain that we gain from breaking the wall. So knowing that your air throw doesn't necessarily break the wall is pretty important. It also means that it's much more viable for certain characters to be going for air throws in the first place, knowing that they won't lose control of the field that way. Increase the length of slow. Sorry, I beat down on the pepper and now it's going down the wrong side of my throat. Hold on, let me drink. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Cold water. Okay, fix the bug with certain conditions. Timing when the character hit by counter attack during slowdown will be later mutated. Whatever, that's a bug fix. Increase the length of slowdown time caused when a counter hit lands during slowdown. Adjusted the visual counter hit effect. Oh my god. Okay, so you're rewarded more for successfully overturning a rushdown. It'll be easier to it'll be easier to convert counters into combos. So if you haven't been learning your counter hit routes, routes only possible because of the slowdown due to again a counter hit. It's probably time to hit the lab because that's going to become a lot more common, and not knowing when it's coming from the opponent means that you don't know when to properly burst. Ugh. Remove the damage scaling during the slowdown of red and purple Roman castles. It's now possible to Roman castle during a jump animation. That's dangerous. Red Roman castle will no longer activate during movements such as dash and backdash. That's a little disappointing. Being able to quickly take out a red Roman castle during a dash forward was a really powerful way to extend your combo. Like it allows you to gain things like Giovanna's close slash versus her farther slash, which is multi-hit. That doesn't necessarily affect a lot of game plans that weren't relying on the inherent pressure of the close-up, the dash and Roman cancel. but I would definitely call it kind of annoying, honestly. It closes out some routes that you had previously in return for a much better aerial game. Like Roman Castle during jump animation, holy shit, man! You can catch up. You can catch people out pretty badly that way. Shit, man! If they did a dash attack on you and you jumped out of the way and Roman Castle to slow them down with just the blue Roman Castle, that's an entirely gross punish. Oh. Okay, it's no longer possible to activate Roman Castle during the dust attack follow-up. Adjusted the visual dust attack follow-up effect. Okay, so that just basically makes it harder to. Actually, no, I forgot what that was about. Either way, you just need your basic dust attack follow-up combos to go through with that. Fix the bug where the character's position would change when stuck to the wall under certain conditions. I've never had that problem, so that's probably a pretty minor one. Wall break. Fix the bug where the wall break value would not be reset after the animation when the wall break occurs under certain conditions. I also never had that happen to me, but I can expect that to be very annoying. This change, however, is very important. They expanded the hitbox of the Psych Burst, and I have seen videos of this. One caller to be impressed. I have whipped so many bursts. Here, let me try to find. Oops. Never mind the search results you're seeing. Here we are. None of you saw those search results. Okay, where was it? Here we are. GG Twitter is posting clips of the new patch changes. I'll try to compile them here. Here we are. Here's the increased burst range. Let's just check out what this actually looks like. Here we are. Okay. Sorry about the poor quality. So look at the difference here between 1.10 and 1.9. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, no, a little earlier. Here we go. So that's a hit, that's a whiff. That's a hit, that's a whiff. And it starts spacing around that distance, that micro walk over there. I have missed so many bursts by that error of margin. So bursting is a lot more reliable now. That feels good. Nothing feels worse, honestly, in this game than a missed Psych Burst. It's so bad. Fix the bug where moves would behave strangely upon clashing under certain conditions. That's rare for me, but let's see. When two projectiles clash, the projectile with a lower clash level will now be erased. Ooh. Ooh. Range combat has definitely taken a turn. Jumping slash now triggers the counter effect. Can now be jump castled and air dash. Added Gatling route to jump dust. Okay. Giovanna now has an air game. Jumping heavy slash now triggers the counter effect, cannot be jump cancelled and air dash cancelled. Adding Gatling routes to. Okay. So now all the practice I've been putting for Giovanna's frankly limited air route, just so that I have something that isn't a slash opener or a 2D opener, is now going to pay off. Because now we're not just playing Guilty Gear, we're also playing Guilty Gear with Melty Blood's air game. Okay, remove decrease to blocks not caused by. Yeah, this is from the earlier explanations. Oh shit! Even when the return knockback is overwritten by a projectile, a set amount of knockback will now remain. So even if you fall this defense a really close fireball, they'll still be knocked back. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to be buggy. This sounds like a high potential for a bug. Kinders no longer enter a blocking stance before a projectile makes contact. Interesting. Added the difference in position height with the opponent to the conditions for entering a blocking stance before an opponent's attack. Okay, so you'll be forced into a blocking stance depending on the position height of the attack. I'm not sure how effective this was compared to what it was before, but we'll find out soon enough. Knockback caused by instant block and false defense will now change when guard crushed. Will now change when guard crushed by an opponent's attack. Okay, so this affects Garuda. Attack hits opponent in guard crush animation. That attack is treated as the first move in the combo. Okay, so guard crush does. I don't know what this. I don't know how impacting this is. All right, let's go to the characters, the actual parts that we care about. What the fuck? What? Why are they buffing so? Oops. Seriously, why are we getting soul buffs? Oh, I need to change the, damn, I need to change the, hot buttons on my stream deck. Anyhow, Jesus. I'm already sad. Soul was already S tier. He was still S tier after the previous round nerfs. Okay. The follow-up hit cannot be performed via manual input regardless of the situation. It cannot be used in more ways, such as maximize the reward of a counter hit from normal moves such as crouch and slash, as well as other uses outside of combos. In accordance to changes with forward punch and battery revolver, the wall bounce effect of forward punch in the stage corner has been removed. Okay, so at least we don't get a wall bounce anymore. Soul has access to major chain damage when he lands a clean hit Volcanic Viper. However, the high damage to practicality forward punch to Volcanic Viper in the stage corner was so strong that there was no need to use other combo routes. Revise this while also adding new combo parts. Oh. Okay, so Battery Revolver is more flexible in exchange for forward punching to Volcanic Viper being less reliable. Given that you no longer get a wall bounce to toss you right back into Soul. Forward punch now floats the opponent up higher while also reducing the horizontal distance they are sent flying back and remove wall bounce effect. But what's the point of removing the wall bounce effect if you make it easier to combo him? Like, the horizontal distance that it used to send them back was the main limitation for Soul just having free combo routes on you. Oh. Soul is no longer in a counter hit state after the active phase of the attack from forward heavy slash. So it's harder to punish him. Oh. Second hit cannot be performed with kick button. Adjust his movement speed and opponent blow back due to functional changes. Now it triggers the counter effect. Lowered attack level, so okay, so you'll probably do less damage. Reduced recovery time, I don't like that. Expanded hitbox in front and below on the second hit, I don't like that. Increased distance for which the attack connects, I really don't like that. Increased base damage scaling, I really don't like that. Oh no, no. Reduce the start attack for grounded Battery Revolver. Now trigger this entire chunk of patch notes hurts me deeply. Increase the base damage scaling for Night Ray Vortex. Increase base damage scaling for Fafnir. Increase the hurt box above for face down. Okay, face down knockdown. Increase the hurt box above. That's fine. That technically counts on nerf. Should I learn Soul? This is making me think I should learn Soul. That ain't Soul better. Kai, Balance Intentions. Okay, so Kai gains a lot from the projectile buffs. Stun Edge as a poke is now very powerful, and because Stun Edge is so hard to avoid, that guarantees that everybody he faces will be in a shock state. Yeah, Stun Edge Machine. Previously intentionally set a relatively high recovery for projectiles to prevent them, making their ability to lock the opponent down too powerful. There's resultant Stun Edge having limited use, which was a stressful element of playing Kai. So now Kai is a much better poker. He still doesn't have anything like a safe block string, but that's fine. Because stun edge makes all his. Okay, yeah, the shock state. God, this is annoying. Okay, increase the benefits of using Dragon Style dudes compared to low damage and overdrive. Okay, so he gets a buff when he uses Dragon Style, which is fair. He was exactly very strong before. He needs some kind of advantage for the fact that he doesn't really have safe enders to his strings, to his attack strings. Forward heavy slash no longer getting counter hit state. He probably needed that a little bit. Increased chip damage from special moves and overdrives during shock state, so it's easier for him to kill. Reduce the hit stop of stun edge. That was a lag. Grounded stun edge all versions. Increased startup, reduced recovery, increased movement speed of the hitbox. So it'll take longer to get stun edge out, but it'll take less time to recover from stun edge, which balances out the overall fireball game, right? Charge versions the same. Full Dray Arc, increased base damage scaling. Sacred Edge, increased movement speed of the hitbox. Okay, Sacred Edge can now land a little easier. Oops. Let me take a drink. Using Dragon Install on somebody when they're in shock state is going to be significantly more powerful and increases the chip damage especially with overdrives while Dragon Install is activated. So even if he doesn't have a safe attack string, it found. Ouch! I bit my tongue. It's now much more dangerous to be blocking against Kai once he gets Dragon Stall off. So that makes it so that his entire game plan is basically to stun edge you into submission and Dragon Stall you to finish you off. They made an air character. These balance changes increase the return of landing aerial attacks. Combined with additional Gatling routes for aerial normal moves, this greatly develops aerial combos. So, the one weakness that Mei arguably had was that she wasn't much of an air character, right? Now she's an air character. She has aerial combos. Getting hit by her in the air is going to be significantly more punishing. She was already a good character too. Like, I get the fact that Aksys' development strategy is to make everybody as overpowered as possible, even the ones that were already overpowered, because Guilty Gear characters are the ultimate like fighting game like power fantasy, right? Which is great. I much prefer games where there are multiple strong, high tier and highly powered characters for different reasons. Then I like it when they just nerf everything into submission and make everybody hit like wet noodles. But man, it hurts to play against some of these characters. Mei especially, Jesus. Previously, the counter hit strategy to Mr. Dolphin has been to beat it with fast moves such as Standing Punch. However, in order to prepare more counters to lunge attacks, it is now more likely to lose to 4 punch as well. Oh! Oh, that's good! That was my primary weakness against Mei, and I could never get the timing right for a forward punch, and that was like, for Giovanna, the best way to counter Totogekis. Okay, so Mei did get a significant nerf in her meme strategy of just tossing dolphins at you. Her sweep is more reliable as a as a combo extension now, because it creates less distance from the opponent on hit in this stage corner. So when she sweeps somebody, it doesn't like completely reset her neutral anymore. Forward punch, same as everybody else. Also removed wall bounce effect. Forward heavy slash sends opponent flying up upon grounded hit. Reduce the amount of risk level decrease. Okay, so she gains less off of the heavy slash. Reduce the amount of combo blowback scaling increase. I don't know what that means. By the way, like this, since opponent flying up upon grounded hit, that means that it's going to be an air combo starter, it feels like. Jumping slash, no longer in a counter hit state after active frames. That's good for her. Totsugeki horizontal, increased base damage scaling, and reduce the hitbox below. So you really need to know how to play against Totsugeki, or else it just deals more damage against you. Increase distance from which the attack can connect. That's annoying. Okay, Axo. Changes to fast normals and air attacks helps him. His jump slash can be followed up upon using air dash cancel. Ooh, I'm getting tired. I need some caffeine. Give me a second. I forgot that these patch notes make you talk forever. Oh. They changed the function of each of his normals, so that player must use each of his arrow normals for distinct purposes, which means that he can't simply just toss out whatever and poke you with that. So he has a combo game now. Options after landing air attack are now more powerful, but you need to actually know when and why you're tossing out those Kusarigamas. He's less easily hit on dash. Air throw, fix the bug where forced base damage scaling will not be applied. I don't know how that affects it. Crouching kick, reduce startup. Crouching, okay, so his kick's faster. Crouching slash, increase base damage scaling. Forward punch, made the opponent float higher. Makes it easier to start up an air combo. Jump slash, expand her box in front. You don't want to throw it out negligently. Jump heavy slash, increase knockback. So I can get hit with a heavy slash safely, it just forces neutral. Jump dust, reduced air hitbox and hurt box, and reduce active frames as well. Interesting. Huh. Axel's now in a counter hit state compared to all the other previous changes to counter hits until the animation ends. So Sickle Flash has better clash levels, but it's now an inherently riskier move. If you get hit while throwing out the Sickle Flash, you will get your ass combo. But he's no longer in a counter hit state after active frames of Rainwater, so that's fine. I forgot which one was Rainwater, but that's fine. Sickle Storm, the projectile no longer reduces the number attached to the opponent when it hits anything other than the opponent. Interesting. Okay, Alpha Blade is now a combo starter. Change the crouching heavy strike. Heavy slash, he now has more options to lead into combos mid-screen. His mix-up, however, has somewhat increased starter as it was overly influenced by individual reaction times in play environments. So he's become less of a PC or PS4 character versus PS5, but in return, so they reduced the speed for him a little bit, but made it so that he has more combo routes with Alpha Blade. Crouching heavy slash, decrease the horizontal distance, the opponent sent flying back. Jump heavy slash, chip is no longer counter hit state after active frames of the attack. Alpha Blade diagonal, increase startup, adjusted the movement speed and blowback, adjust the movement speed blowback while bouncing off the stage corner. Interesting. Aerial Alpha Blade diagonal, reduce startup, move the hitbox further back. So, okay, that means it's less of a poke. Chip is now in the counter hit state until the active frames end. With the hitbox move back, it also means it's much more likely for him to get countered with a projectile or a punch. Shuriken, increase the distance from which the attack connects, so it's longer range. It's no, not longer range, safer. It's a safer throw now, projectile now. Wall run, chip is longer at counter hit state during the animation. That's sad for everybody else. Face down knockdown, expand the hurt box upward. So this hurts Chip a lot actually. The increased startup on Alpha Blade and yeah, the increased startup for everything makes it so that it's easier for you to knock him out of his combo, or to prevent from startup in the first place, or to see it coming. He doesn't like it when you block. He especially doesn't like it if you perfect block him. Take another drink. You're gonna need it. Let me get some water in me. All dripping all over me. Potemkin's forward punch can now be special cancelled, which is a major buff for him. He can cancel it to Heat Knuckle, and standing forward slash now connects into Slide Head on a non-counter aerial hit. On the other hand, due to changes to Flawless defense, Garuda Impact has lost some of its ability to maintain his offense. Standing Heavy Slash has reduced the hurt box in front. Forward Heavy Slash reduced the hurt box in front. Jump Dust can now be special cancelled when Potemkin lands. Potemkin is no longer in counter hit state after the active frame's Slide Head ends. And the ground cracks no longer disappear during the active frames. Oh. You get that sinking feeling in your stomach, realizing that you're about to have a lot more Potemkin matchups. FTB now triggers the counter effect, and now reflects projectiles while holding down the slash button, and with increased base damage scaling. Reflex projectiles. Reflex projectiles. Reflex projectiles. Increase the distance for which heavily Potemkin Buster connects. I need a moment. I'm gonna need a moment. I wish this was beer, not Coke. Or Coke Zero, rather. Because, no, not beer. I need something harder. I wish this was whiskey. I feel like drinking now. Increase the distance for which heavily Potemkin Buster connects. I mean, at least Garuda pressure isn't as bad anymore. That's approximately like I want to say 30 to 40% of Potemkin's gameplay in the first place. And sliding hit is what it is. It's better, but it needed to be better in the first place. Given how bad his matchup was against anybody with aerial and long range gameplay. I can still see myself getting through a Potemkin matchup to my advantage, but man, it's gonna be so damn hard. Okay, Faust. Yeah, but I wanted it to miss. I don't play Potemkin. I don't want to be on the other end of heavy Potemkin Buster. But now I'm going to get hit by it a lot more often. Now they're not going to miss with it. Good luck to the rest of us. Okay. Love now has different properties when used while Faust is in Afro state. The properties are stronger as the explosion will only hit the opponent, making it beneficial for Faust either to take the Afro item himself or for opponent to take it when it appears via What Could This Be? Changes to the donut banana makes it more likely to receive a beneficial item when repeatedly using What Could This Be? Crouching Slash has been greatly buffed as a preemptive anti-air, making his anti-air capabilities greatly improved when combined with the ability to follow with Forward Punch. Oh, so Forward Punch Crouching Slash is an actual combo now, and will hit you in the air. Because of the overall balance change to damage distribution, the damage caused by Snip 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 is less impacted by opponent's character and current health. I think these are Frost buffs. Afro Frost is a legitimate thing now. Reduce the upper hurt box directly after your animation starts for dash. That's safe. Makes it easier for him to get in. Reduce start for standing punch. He needed that buff. Forward punch actually links into stuff now with expanded hitbox in front as well, so it's easier to land it. Crouch and Slash, increase base damage scaling, decrease the upper hitbox during the end of the active frames. So aerial attacks will be punishing your Crouch and Slash a lot less often. Excuse me. Mix is no longer a counter hit stay after the active frame ends. Increase the base damage scaling, so it's overall safer to toss that special out. Lower the chance of a donut appearing when there's already a donut on screen. Lower the chance of a banana appearing when there's already a banana on screen. When throwing an item, there's now a set chance that a banana will become a banana peel. Fun. That's the RNG stuff. Snips and snip. Decrease horizontal distance. The opponent is flying back, so it'll be easier to follow up. The opponent will no longer enter Afro state due to an item effect during this move. I don't know how this plays out. I don't play Faust. I only play against Faust. And mostly I just play up front against Faust and prevent him from doing this kind of bullshit. But we'll see how the Afro plays out. Making him a much more Afro-centric character is going to be an interesting choice. Miraz in Turbofall has become special cancelable, so overall her special moves have been buffed. It's easier to turn them into the proper combos. Many characters gain access to forward air dash cancels for the aerial attacks. However, only Milia has gained access to aerial backdash cancels, which mainly strengthens her mix-up. So she is a proper-ass blender now. Previously, her standing far slash would be most characters' forward punch. However, this has been made more difficult due to pubs in the situation after hits. The hitbox has been reduced to match this change. The changes to Miraz and Tan and top makes it easier to get higher returns. And forward kick cannot be special cancelled in combos into Lust Shaker and other moves. Her aerial game is better, her combo game is better. A better forward kick means a better neutral, and access to aerial backdash cancel. She's upgraded herself from a 10 count blender to a proper ninja blender. That's interesting. I need to see that in action. I need to see how like Milia mains will be taking advantage of this. But Milia mains were already struggling in previous patches, so I think it's justified to giving them that kind of like extra tool that nobody else has. And of course, special cancels all across the corner, especially with Milia. It's pretty damn powerful. All for jump attacks cannot be cancelled with air backdash. That's impressive. Turbo Fall cannot be cancelled in animation, and she is no longer in counter hit state during the animation. So even if she whiffs with Turbo Fall and she gets punished, it's less painful overall. I'm guessing that a lot of the changes to counter hit state, the fact that most characters are no longer in counter hit state in the middle of a special, is why they are increasing the overall damage scaling, right? Because now you have fewer cases where you can be put into counter hit state, which means that your default damage scaling is vastly reduced. So the incentive now is not to simply counter hit them whenever possible and just like pile on the basic attacks. but specifically to find a counter hit state in a normal attack, and or take advantage of damage scaling off of the increased damage scaling off most specials. Hit them with that instead to take advantage of the fact that counter hit states are going to be more rare. Reduce startup for tandem top, that makes it easier to execute. Fix the bug which causes unnatural behavior under certain circumstances for Iron Savior. I don't know how that's actually going to play out. Mirage cannot be cancelled mid-animation. No longer counter hit state again. Adjust the movement speed. Reduce the length of time during which you can phase through the opponent. Okay, so they actually reduced her mix-up with Mirage, but in return, it's harder to punish you for whiffing it. Add the knockback, expand the lower hitbox and hitbox. Fix the bug which causes natural behavior on whatever. And expand the lower hitbox while ascending. So Winger is going to be easier to link into combos. Overall, this is a really strong patch for Amelia. Like, this section alone, that, like, opens up whole new territories to what she's able to do with her aerial route, right? She's going to be playing very, very differently from how she did before. If you were used, like, there weren't exactly a whole lot of Amelias in the ranked play in the first place, but there's going to be a lot more now, and your previous footages of high-level Amelias in Strive will probably no longer be applicable. Especially if you're trying to like understand their block string routes. Like, we might have to just relearn this matchup from the start again. It's gonna be low dangerous. More than low dangerous. The amount of Eddie gauge expanded for command inputs while Eddie's summon has been decreased, so Eddie is buffed, Eddie's longevity is buffed. Zato will perform motions on activation as well. This opens up new potential setups with Eddie. So yeah, Eddie's gonna be out longer. There'll be more combo routes with him and longer ones as well. Overall, Eddie's a lot more effective. So you definitely absolutely need to try to kill Eddie as soon as possible. The range of Invite Hell has been improved as will often fail to connect Wind Castle into from normals. Okay, that's just more consistent. Forward kick cannot be special cancelled to distinguish its use for this attack. It started is longer, making it easier to block, but Zato faces less risk using it solo, and can follow with further status while using it in tandem with Eddie. So forward kick has become a much more useful neutral tool for Zato. And given that Zato is basically only half a character without Eddie, like he is like 1.5 to 2 characters in terms of overall strength with Eddie out, and less than half of a character without him at all. So giving him a better neutral game, especially with a forward kick linking into specials, yeah, he's a little more threatening than neutral now. A little more legitimately threatening, even if Eddie is off screen. A better dash, a better standing punch, a better forward punch, a much better forward kick. Eddie stays around longer. Invite Hell is better. Some Void All Virgins no longer reduces the number of attacks to the opponent when it hits anything other than the opponent. I'm not sure how that fundamentally affects his gameplay, but yeah, it's Zato got improved overall. Alright. Due to reduction of knockback for standing force splash, it's easier to connect into Daro on cancel. The increased knockback to standing heavy slash makes it oh boy, I'm getting tired. That was a lot of talking. I'm trying to get through. Okay. Makes the situation after hits similar to how it was previously after landing standing slash into standing heavy slash. Okay. So basically, standing heavy slash's further knockback is to make up for the reduction in knockback for standing forward slash. So The end result will be roughly the same to how it was on patch 1.09, but the overall effect for standing forward slash is that it opens better combo routes now. Jumping heavy slash to jumping dust have been adjusted to a large benefit gained from additional Gatling routes. So her aerial route is going to be pretty deadly. Due to being overhead, it's difficult to buff Silda the Trio. It was useful in limited situations. By making a mid, it can now be used more freely and neutral in strings. I don't know which attack this is talking about. Dash cancel air mode. Initial dash startup cannot be special cancelled. Opening up potential strings. Yeah, just new strings all over the place. So basically, if you block a grounded poke, Rad Lethal's got more options on you now. Attacking unnatural directions. For a punch, making the opponent flow higher, that seems to be almost universal. Bagel Netto, fix the location on the ground where it will be set after touching the stage corner. After sending out the sword, if Rad Lethal takes damage before it reaches the stage corner, the sword will no longer explode when it reaches the stage corner. That sounds like a nerf. Yeah, removing the exploding component of her blades. I'm not sure how necessary that was. Like, she's definitely oppressive because you basically get hit with attack followed by a second attack from the explosion. So if you can punish her before then, you're a lot safer now. Damn, skill increases are not interesting. Solo the True. Okay, that version is now a mid attack with less scaling and expand the lower end behind hitbox. Grounded version will also force him into crouching state and add wall bounce effect. That's pretty good. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Let's try to force through. Let me see. Aralumo can no longer be dash cancelled on whiff. That's a nerf. Roman cancel activated while dash cancel with smooth will now be a blue Roman cancel. Can now be special cancel only immediately after dash cancel. Interesting. That's a lot of nerfs on this ability. Calvados now has guard crush effect to the final hit. So interestingly, Lethal was both buffed and nerfed. Her aerial game is a lot stronger now, but a lot for Araluma openers are no longer applicable, as is the Scylla the True. Well, no, actually no. Scylla the True is fine. Okay. The timing he can cancel into guard point follow-up boosts have been sped up due to the long overall recovery for standing forward slash and standing heavy slash. Forward heavy slash can now be comboed into from counter slash, counter hit, and other moves. Leo got buffed. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those are Leo buffs. Sped up the timing where it can be followed up with command normal, so now you can mash it out. Same with standing heavy slash. Forward heavy slash now floats opponent on ground hit. Increased movement speed for command normal 4. Reduced recovery for command normal 5. No longer in a counter hit state after the active frames end for jump slash. Gestober has increased startup, increased base damage scaling, so that's nerf. Turbulence increased damage scaling, that's a buff. Brennhilder stance during a punch you can no longer jump cancel in the middle during the punch off Brennhilder stance. That's actually a nerf. So no, never mind. There are quite a few interesting nerfs here, especially the lack of a jump cancel off of a punch. That's interesting. He gets more damage in return for less of a mix-up, I feel like. Nagori Yuki. Shizuru Yuki has been greatly changed from its form and function, and a downward swing can now be manually activated by heavy strike button input. Heavy slash button input. With buffs to the startup time, it's now easier to use as an anti-air or punch. So your combo extender is even more powerful now. It wasn't exactly the ability to you want to use at all times. It doesn't have a particularly long range, and it doesn't make you invincible at any point. But as a way to extend the length of your combo, or to punish aerial approaches, you could definitely do worse. Ground to throw, fix the bug where force damage skill will not be applied. Adjusted descent time for aerial throw. That's probably just to make it no, never mind. Not sure how that affects it. Which move was that for what? The Shizuriyuki? Shizuriyuki, I believe, was let me double check. I forgot as well. Shizuriyuki. Right, this was the Shizuriyuki was the Dragon Punch DP Heavy Slash. It basically turned your sword red and lets just like up down. It was like basically a swallow cutter. Zarumiki reduced starter, increased movement speed of the hitbox, unified the slice of the slash range. Interesting. Yep. It used to just be an automatically 2 slashes, but now the second slash is controlled by the heavy slash button as a follow-up, with adjusted blowback, etc. in accordance with changes to its function. That's actually a buff. For intermediate and high tier Nagoriyukis, that's a pretty good buff, given that most of your combo extensions depend on landing the first hit and not the second. So now you can guarantee that you get the first hit without triggering the second. Although you want the second if you want to use it as a counter effect against an airborne opponent that's approaching you. So he definitely didn't receive the most buffs or the most impacting buffs, but his overall game plan, which is already S tier, as demonstrated by Hotashi and everybody else in the community right now, is now even stronger. He didn't really need to be much stronger. His Beyblade was already incredibly annoying to play against, but the Beyblade was not nerfed. And here's mine. Here's the stuff that affects me starting tomorrow. Giovanna can now quickly perform normals after her dash, greatly improving her neutral setups and strings overall. I've seen videos of this. You can instantly cancel your dash into a normal attack or to a kick now. It gives her basically what was very apparently a drifting attack, so she can ice skate across the entire stage with a hitbox in front of her to ward people off. That's pretty nice. Crashing slash will sometimes whiff oddly depending on the opponent's counter after counter hit, so we improve its range. That's nice. So that Sid works better against aerial attacks will now be more likely to lose to ground attacks, solidifying its role as an anti-air. Interesting. I mean, I'm all for more anti-air tools on Giovanna. Dash cannot be canceled into other actions sooner, like almost right away, honestly. I've seen the video was that she would have the drift state while in the middle of the kick right from 0-0. Standing kick has adjusted blowback, standing close slash increased knockback. Oh, I don't like that too much. Standing far slash, decrease the lower hitbox and hurtbox. That doesn't mean much. It's a top-down attack in the first place, so your first initial connection will be from the top at the same distance. Crouch and slash extend upper hitbox. It's now partially an anti-air. Forward punch now floats the enemy up higher. That's good for me. Sepultura, increased damage scaling. So now the round hurts more. Trovile, increased damage scaling. That also helps. Nascent moves the hitbox. Nascent moves the hitbox of the initial attack of the attack upwards. Okay, so it's easier to link that when they pop up into the air. Ventania now floats the enemy when any hit other than the final one hits the ground of the opponent. So it forces it. So the trick here is that Ventania can be Roman cancelled. So if you skip the very last one, you can actually extend the damage from Ventania by red Roman cancelling them into the air, jump, slash, jump cancel, jump heavy slash, jump slash, etc., etc. And ending with a jumped dust button to kick them into the corner. So there are definitely potentials here if you can use Ventania. If you're willing to expend resources to use Ventania as a part of a combo rather than the combo ender. And also, however, the most important thing actually over here is that since you can RC Ventania and floats them up higher, that means you have a better wall spot game. Like, you're less likely to simply plow them through the wall and return them to neutral. Now you can punish them for getting wall splatted in the first place and just follow up from there. So more options. Shitsu can now be used outside Fokuzemi. You can be casted into for normal, so you use it at mid-range more easily. His stat throw has been changed in accordance with Shitsu, making it easier to carry the opponent into stage corner. Okay. Ooh, that's nasty. Fujin is faster. Now can be leading into from far standing slash and crouch slash. Ko is easy to combo with and strong as an anti-air. I don't know how to interpret these Anji notes, how strong they are. Because, like, I can think of very few situations where grounded throw, where you want a ground throw to lead to a horizontal blowback, right? You usually want it to stay in front of you after you throw them so you can apply more pressure onto them through normal attacks. And then possibly with the threat of another throw. Most of these are pretty uninteresting. Yeah. Eno. Yeah, it's going to take... Okay, so... Since you're not a Ryuki main, I don't think your overall game plan is too heavily affected. But I would start looking up when the best red Roman cancel extensions are for Nagoriyuki. Tactical awareness is definitely the hardest thing to hang on to. Like, I take a break for 1 week to do my work because we had a client that with a major event that we had to handle that week, and all my tactical awareness was flew out the window. It was so sad. I still remember like my most basic standing like 5S close 5S combos, close 5 slash combos, which are easiest to remember in first place because it's just slash, heavy slash into 2-1-4 kick, followed by a red Roman cancel into a slash. Let's see, dash forward slash 2 heavy slash to knock them up further into the air, then the 2-3-6 kick to pin them against the wall. And that was a lot of fun, but also was really, really predictable to block that initial slash, which was everything for that combo. And once you see that the Giovanna only knows how to open up combos with a slash, it becomes very, very easy to block that Giovanna and disappoint her. So yeah, tactical awareness is everything. learning how to mix shit up and learning like the follows from your mix-ups. I dropped all that. It like faded from memory. I just suffered for a week, man. It sucked. Anyhow, back to Eno. Standing front slash is now a better preemptive poke. Hitbox has been expanded with little changes in hurtbox, so it's safer for her to poke. Although it doesn't lead to any direct rewards, it works well as a poke against opponents who are waiting for a hover dash. So she can force people to play significantly more passively with far slash. Antidepressant skill has been changed to be more useful in neutral while remaining strong as Okizemi. Increase startup, reduce recovery, increase move at hitbox, that's very powerful. Reduce hit stop, that's also powerful. Spell timing when the number of attacks increased. Made it easier to alter trajectory by inputting up or down. Okay. The changes to Eno were the important changes, in that her neutral was basically stronger. Yeah, they basically buffed Eno's neutral game, which was the most annoying part about Eno is that you need to do a lot of combos. You need to do a lot of combo extensions in order to actually do any damage, because she doesn't actually do much on her own. So these, and I guess these are pretty appropriate changes. It doesn't look like her overall power level has been changed too much relative to everybody else. Using Aerial Behemoth Typhoon from Air Dash allows him to move an extremely long distance, which combined with the changes to his forward dash hurtbox significantly improves the ability to approach from a distance. Wow. So, I'm sure as you're aware, Gold Lewis's primary weakness was that for all the pressure he can build onto somebody, and the easy way to build up the risk, he definitely struggled against Axel and everybody else with a decent projectile game. And now that he has a proper aerial dash, air dash, that extends itself with Aerial Behemoth Typhoon to turn him into a flying missile the size of a school bus. That's pretty good. That's a buff. As Skyfish was previously safer to use at a lower security level, it's now possible to cancel the animation with an additional input to address this issue. The reduction of the start also makes him powerful in both neutral and combos. Yeah, most of the changes are to Aero Typhoon. He also buffed the reverse hemicircle, the upside down hemi. The what was it? The 698746. No, 69874. Whew, I'm getting tired. So yeah, overall, the changes to Aerial Behemoth Typhoon means that Gold Lewis should have an easier time actually getting to the fight, and which is bad news for everybody else. He doesn't need that much of a change, but he does absolutely need something to alleviate the suffering he gets in turn from ranged characters like Jack Ho. So, standing heavy slash connects after the edge of standing far slash hits. Her neutral game is going to be a little better. They change the inputs regarding her servants to avoid accidentally performing other actions. So now Jack-O is easier to play. And she can now perform overdrives when lifting servants, so that's no longer a sign to go in because she can't punish you that badly. She can now quickly punish the opponent with Forever Elysian Driver and perform new set play using Cheer Servant on. So she's even more flexible now. Servants. The servant's push box now disappears when the servant vanishes, preventing the opponent from being pushed away. That's good. That's good. When I kill the servant from near her, I want that servant to stay dead for a while. Fix the bug where the servant's would behave unnaturally when Jackal attacks a servant under certain conditions. They are no longer allowed to mutiny. I'm not sure. Okay, so Throw Servant cannot be activated with a diagonal. Aerial Throw Servant also the same. Release Servant will no longer activate if an upward direction is being inputted. Recover Servant, same thing honestly. Attack Command. Okay, so basically you have lifting a servant no longer puts her into a disadvantageous state compared, given what she wants to get out of her kit. So this is definitely a huge Jackal buff. Increase the cast level for defend command. Countdown no longer activates when in upward direction. Servant Shield, which is basically her fireball, is a little better. Forever Elysian Driver cannot be activated even while lifting a servant. Increase the distance from which the attack can connect, and adjust the movement speed. So, yes, explicitly, they increase the distance from which the attack connect with Forever Elysian Driver. Her overall gameplay is a lot more slick now, and she's no longer held back by having a servant on hand. And that's it. That's the last of it. Holy shit, this was like 90% buffs by volume. And some really significant ones too, even if they were already extremely powerful. There's only a handful of characters here that can actually be legitimately said to have been nerfed. And whether or not they're for good reasons is almost beside the point. I feel like it was still a mistake to buff So. I'm not sure if it was a mistake to buff Potemkin, but it definitely feels like it just because of how difficult it is to play against him now. Like Garuda pressure was already insane, but now it's going to be, well, no, Garuda's less, but his other moves are even more potent. So matching against him has become something of a hell. But the real hell is still in the end faced against Soul Bad Guy. I have so much to practice when this patch lands tomorrow. So much. I'm going to say that the one character most heavily affected by all of this in a positive way is none other than Milia. Let me try to find her page. It's easier. There. Soul is now a final boss, but a lot of characters just got bumped up a whole tier. Milia most prominently amongst all of them. The fact that she can special cancel into so much more new stuff. I want to practice everything. Like, I'm not looking forward to facing this new Soul with the improved bandit revolvers and Potemkin with even better forward punch links. But everybody else is significantly stronger where they need to be stronger. Milia has turned into a goddamn blender. And now I need to figure out new arrow routes for Giovanna. Like, that's exciting. I don't resent having to learn new air routes. Those were definitely the character's biggest weakness. And the fact that everybody has an air game now, making all this a proper anime fighter. This is going to be exciting, dude. I can't wait to see how this plays out in tournaments. Oh, but man, those were a lot of changes. Like, I have been talking for a good 80 minutes now. My voice is gone. My voice is gone. I don't even have the energy to practice now, but that's alright because I don't. None of this is implemented on servers quite yet. I'm just going to wait until midnight for it to land, man. Midnight's still 3 hours away here. This is exciting. This is legitimately exciting. Sometimes in a really gross and uncomfortable way, like with the aforementioned characters. But for everybody else, like, there are at minimum a lot more people in A tier now than there was before, and also a significant number of more candidates for S tier. Ooh, the gameplay video. Right. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, well, oh, I forgot that they had the show with Hololive. These are all old videos. Let me see. Nope. It must be on their social media then. This is the 10-second version. Oh, the America channel. Okay, thank you for that. I'm dumb. Sorry, my brain's a little fried from covering all of that. Here we are, 10 minutes long. Alright, let me stop the soundtrack over here. Alright. Start from the beginning. Oh man, look at that pressure. That's fun. Yeah. I would definitely say these are the two characters with the most significant changes made. The Afro Bomb is going to be a new one, and we have to just live with that universe now. Oh man, look at those dashes. Oh my god, Red Roman Castle. Burst out, make sure Foss is well ready from the Afro. Oh, bombs everywhere. There are FTs for both of them. Oh my god, that Afro. The poke. She's such a freaking blender now. natural state. Not stopping her. That's fucking hilarious. So far the developer showcase hasn't necessarily demonstrated a lot of the new aerial routes yet. Soul especially hasn't been able to demonstrate the full extent of the banner revolver changes. Yeah, I would have like done some kind of air combo off as that counter. God, that was painful. Oh boy. But like, that just drained attention, that's all. Good burst. That just poking constantly. Look at that dust attack. Jesus.
Son of a bitch. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Attacked properly. That's nice to see. Oh, that air route. Oh, that's a lot of follow-up from the air. Just kept her juggled the entire time. All the way to the wall. Oh, God. Yeah, that was predictable. I wouldn't have got hit there. God, gunflame. So disgusting.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
I would not have used that purple realm cancel there. Damn, look at all that pressure, man. Kept her out lethal, pinned to the corner with that band revolver. And the overhead.
Stop wasting my time. Win. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Fighting against his mother-in-law. Okay, yeah, his shock game is really annoying now. Jesus. Oh, but she got a mix in. Oh. Yeah. Jacko landing the knockdown on you is scary now. Especially since she's a lot less punishable when she's getting her her minions out. And that grab was just painful. Oh, got him on the ankles. That's nice.
You can try hard.
Stun edge. Yeah, she absolutely did burst on that. feel like he was a little too close to keep on throwing stun and just like that. Dragon stall. Oof.
Pardon me? For the holy order! Slap!
Is that all you have to offer?
Duel 3. Let's rock!
Deco looks so annoying now. She's already annoying before, and now she's just extra annoying. But hey, at least she's an actual character this generation, right? Oh, nice. Got the air grab. Ooh, that was beautiful. That's a very nice burst. It was from relatively far away too. Oh, she was foul pressing buns. That was really strong.
Challenge me again whenever.
He's a bit of a neutral monster now, isn't he? Like he just wants you to be playing footsies with him and going against, like trying to dodge his projectiles because his spam game is now a lot stronger and he can get significantly more punches off of that. Oh, that's gonna be fun. 3 instant blocks in a row. Let's check it out. Goodness. Yeah, that was 3. In fact, 3 perfect blocks in a row. Jesus. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun patch. Tomorrow is gonna be a very, very interesting day for Guilty Gear players. However, I would not be playing Guilty Gear on stream tomorrow. The plan is instead, it's October. It's time to start playing some creepy games. I have the new version of Yume Nikki that was released a couple years ago, the 3D one. I played a little bit of it, but I never actually completed it because it got kind of challenging. But it's definitely on the creepy end. I don't really like jump scare games because I actually kind of find them dull. Like, if I'm just like supposed to be worried about a monster suddenly appearing out of a doorway and attacking me, that's not scary. That's just kind of frustrating, right? Like, sure, it's like it causes your heart to jump, it causes you to panic, but that's because you feel like you're under attack. The sort of horror games I like are horrors by implication. It's about the details and the behaviors that make you unsettled rather than simply frightened, right? That's what I consider scary. That's what I consider one of the best aspects of Halloween, and that there are a lot more games and a lot more stories with that kind of overall quality. And Yume Nikki has that in abundance. In abundance. Everything about that game is, oh yeah, World of Horror's sole developer, the one dude that develops that game, has finally reappeared online after a year. Apparently he's a dentist and therefore doesn't work on the game full time. But yeah, he's still alive and apparently he's been updating that game. I'm going to grab World of Horror as soon as I can. If I can finish Yume Nikki, or at least like make significant process through it, World of Horror will absolutely be the game I try next before the end of the month. It might even be the game I play on Halloween. Let me see. When does Halloween land on anyhow? The 31st will be a Sunday. Yeah, I'll be playing World of Horror on Halloween. Mark that down. Clip that. I promise you, I will absolutely be playing World of Horror on Halloween. However, other than that, Saturday I have a family thing. Sunday, I will be collaborating with TV Skyan to discuss Deltarune on his channel. Not on my channel, on his channel. So show up on his channel and we will be breaking down that game because there's a lot to talk about with Deltarune. Like, a lot. It'll be fun. Toby Fox has made another great game, and there'll be plenty to talk about as always. That'll be all for now. Thank you all for hanging out with me and checking out this latest patch. Guilty Gear 1.10 looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure we're going to find our fair share of bullshit blazing with this game. But that's Guilty Gear for you. In a world where everybody is OP, is anybody actually OP? No, that's a lie. Soul will still be OP. But Soul has pure protagonist aura this generation. That's fine. It's justifiable. He hasn't won the tournament yet. So as strong as he is, he's also the number one target for everybody else. He is in fact the bounty hunter is in fact the number one bounty for everybody else. So by and large, on the tournament caliber play, people know how to handle him, and people largely have memorized how he's going to be approaching them and what his overall strategy is, making it a little harder for Soul mains to flex how powerful they actually are. But that doesn't matter to us because we're not tournament players. Even if some of us may have the aspirations to be so, us noobs and us like intermediate tier players, we get to live in a world where the protagonists will readily beat our ass, and there's something fitting about that. Absolutely expect some Guilty Gear streams next week as we explore this further. And other than that, I will see you tomorrow. GG, my friends, and as always, eat well.